Good morning, Malaysia, and to all our viewers. You're with me, Robina, and today we have no other than Nabila Isa, aka Bella, on board with us. Good morning, Bella. How are you?
Robina? I'm good. It just, like it's good, but a bit tired. Everything is back to back because I believe everything is picking up back after the MCU and whatnot.
That's good. We're really happy to have you here on board with us. And on
Thank
behalf of my team, we'd like to warmly welcome you to Affluent LUXE TV, new age media and branding hub, a curated platform for reviewing industry personalities for aspiring entrepreneurs, if not established entrepreneurs like yourself. So, Bella, the most interesting thing about when I see you, when you say your name is Bella, right? Did you know that in Italy, Bella means beautiful?
Okay, I know.
And you are as beautiful as your name. So when we were introduced just now and you said you were like Bella, I'm like, wow, what
I got it from my mom.
Yeah, my mom made a really good choice. So Bella, I mean, like everyone has been asking about Moka and Co. And obviously when you hear Moka and Co, the first thing that would come to your mind is that, oh, is this something related to do with skincare or beauty or makeup, because it has Moka on it, right?
Yes.
And a lot of our international viewers, they might not know what Moka is, and Moka is a direct translation of face from Malay to English.
Yes,
so
correct.
Please let us know about the company Moka and Co. And what is the main business of it?
Alright, okay. Mokanko we are actually a new startup. Beauty startups that carry a sustainable beauty in the sense of clean beauty, because clean beauty, that's why how we portray ourselves is more towards the sustainability, where we focusing on natural ingredients, sustainable packagings. Like recently we just launched a new packaging, first in Malaysia, that uses sugarcane materials. It's 100% recyclables, because all this while, all the packaging tubes is actually can really harmful to the environment. So we really care. We are beauty brands that really care about not just the beauty, but the environment as well. So it's all started since 2018, and actually how it started, because I have all this passions in beauty since I was 7. So talking about the history and whatnot, it started since ages ago.
Just since you were 7. And I don't want to ask you how young you are, but obviously that must have been a very long time.
Yeah, long time ago. I mean, I love beauty, cosmetic and whatnot. Since I was 7, I started to makeups and whatnot. But with the limitations of makeup brands those time, and it's hard to find a makeup line that safe, especially for the kids.
True.
Most of the ingredients they carry all the harmful ingredients.
So if I can interrupt you really quickly, were you one of those girls that would go to your mom's bedroom and put the lipstick on, and then the mom would say, kenapa comot everywhere?
That is all started. So I started to steal my mom's makeups and why not. So that is how I built. That is how I built the passions.
So it's a startup, but the passion of makeup has started since you were 7 years old.
Yes, which is ages ago.
Okay, wow, that's good. So obviously a lot of us sometimes, they go to work, they're not really happy in the industry that they've chosen and whatnot. But unlike yourself, this is your passion that you've had for many years, I would assume.
Correct.
And that makes you a more dedicated entrepreneur, I would assume.
True, yes.
So tell us about the history and how Moka and Co in the initial stages and whatnot.
As I said, we started in 2018. We started as a digitals company. We started in digitals atmosphere. Meaning to say, we start with our own e-commerce. We start with our own site. And then we start to expand, the markets and whatnot through social media. We use a lot of influencer, and it kept rising day to day. And surprisingly, the Malaysian millennials, they love and support the locals brand, the homegrown brand. So I believe that's all started. And then we also probably, the name. People always come to me and say, I love the names. It's very catchy.
I love it too.
Moka and Co. So everyone was asking me, how can you derive that name? So I said that suddenly it just pop up. It's Moka. It's represent face. In fact, when we went to UK, the UK people just love the name, and everybody was asking why it's Moka and why it's Moka. It's actually translations of face.
Exactly.
And we are, I mean, in Bahasa. So automatically they know we are Malaysian and from Malaysia.
Yeah, that's homegrown. That's why
homegrown. That is what we call homegrown.
That's homegrown. And then you have the co. It's very international. Mokanko.
So it's just not. I mean, it's just not the carry the beauty brands.
Exactly.
Actually, we carry the homegrowns. We carry the character of being Malaysian.
Yeah. So there's also, you know, sometimes people will say muka if they're from KL.
Yes, yes.
You know, if from out of KL they say muka and co. But
Yes,
I kind of love it in either ways.
Yeah,
you know?
me too.
So how do you say it then?
Muka
I
and
think
co.
muka sounds a bit more.
Yeah, muka
like,
is a more
like
bit
muka and co.
bold kind and.
Unlike us KL,
like muka and
jaga muka.
Jaga muka.
Jaga muka. You don't say jaga muka, right?
Yes. But I'm all good.
Yeah.
Whichever.
Fantastic,
Yes.
fantastic. So, I mean, obviously, we would like to ask you about the main segment of your customers in Muka and Co. And also, you know, with the whole rise of the K-pop culture and whatnot, men have also been inclined to using makeup. So, what are your views about men using makeup in this day and age?
Right, okay. Speaking of customer segmentations, we are more focusing on the millennials.
Okay.
The young millennials who are, when it comes to young millennials, they're very open. They are very vocal.
Okay.
So they're looking for some things that, they're looking for gender equality. They're very transparent. They're looking for a brands that have a line to their character. So when it comes to Muka, we are very, we are not just focusing on the woman segment. We are focusing for all, because for me, beauty is for everybody.
True.
Not just the women. I mean, it's supposed to be for men as well. Men also need to fresh up.
Yeah.
Men also need to look glow. There's nothing wrong to put on makeup.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes because, you know, for us women, if we have, you know, uneven skin tone, we can always put some foundation or concealer and whatnot.
Yes.
However, if men have uneven skin tone, where do they go to, right?
Yeah, true.
Exactly.
I mean, now, men now start to look up and study about makeups, and they also put on makeups, because now, for examples like us, our makeup is very lightweight, it's very kind of natural, so it's suitable not just for women, so men also can apply it.
Yeah.
So it's just like K-pop. I mean, look at them, they put on makeup.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I
why
mean, even in Malaysia itself, because obviously of the whole K-pop culture and how it has panned out to the entire world and whatnot, you can even see Malaysian men having makeup and whatnot, which, you know, initially was a bit hard to digest because we were not open with the idea of men having makeup or drawing their eyebrows for any imperfections, whereas we women, if we don't leave the house with no eyebrows, like
without eyebrows, no, we're not gonna leave the house.
In fact, I was at the office yesterday and I think I was rushing out. So what had happened was I forgot to draw my eyebrows and I thought, you know, I'll bring my makeup kit and whatnot, but I still need my eyebrows to be drawn. And then I got to the office and I'm like, wow, I didn't realize I had no eyebrows. So that is how particular we are about having makeup on.
Yep.
So I think now the society
But
is...
now, moving forward now, I think people are start to, I mean, open up. And men also, surprisingly, we also have, I think, probably 15 to 20% of our customer men.
Okay, but do you know what ethnicity they are?
It's probably, most of them is from the city. I mean, KL, Penang, Johor.
I suppose they're a bit more in the urban cities, and they're also more acceptable to using makeup and experimenting with it, as opposed to in the rural areas. They're still,
and plus probably we have, because our makeup, it has probably natural ingredients and the skincare benefit. So I think they also want to benefit with the skincare.
True. Do you have like the SPFs?
Yeah, we do have SPF and we do have serums.
Okay, that's
moisturizers and whatnot. So it's just not a makeup, but it's something to treat your skin as well.
Yeah. So one of the things I've always also wondered that, you know, in addition to the question what we spoke about, is that, you know, when some makeups they do have the SPF, do you still have to put your layer of SPF first and then you have additional SPF in the makeup, or can you just skip the whole sunblock and go on with the makeup if you're using makeup?
Actually, it depends, but somehow it's better for you to have an extra protection. It's better for you to have an extra layers of your SPF, especially with our weather, Malaysian sun. It's better, you better not be kidding, though. You better need to have extra layers of sunblocks. If not, you you will create all the implementations and whatnot.
That's good. So basically, I mean, you know, this whole COVID-19 and the pandemic that has taken on to the whole world, there have been a lot of challenges. So let us know, how did Muka and Co overcome such challenges in this time?
Right. That's a very, I mean, this is how to answer this, how to put this in words.
Yes, in your own way.
I couldn't say, I don't want to say bad, I don't want to say good. Because for me, I just don't want to complain the whole situations, what is happening, revolve around us.
Yeah.
So being entrepreneur, I take it as a challenge. It is it's a big challenge.
It is.
If you ask me, because we are startup, so we feel such way. But somehow there is good and bad. So if you ask me, 2020, because we're supposed to have a lot of launches. We're supposed to launch in Selfridges UK this year.
Okay.
But due to the pandemic, we have to postpone to, I don't know what, I don't know when. So it's a big challenge for us because we prepare everything. So whatever that we have planned for 2020, we have to push back to 2021.
Yes.
So, but somehow I take it as on the positive side, whereby I believe everything have happened for a good reasons. So probably we can step back and re-strategize and see what are the possibility and why not. So actually, and COVID also taught us to be, I mean, everything has to be digital.
True.
I think this is a swift for us to move towards the e-commerce and whatnot. Luckily, Muka is started on the e-commerce platform. So we are on the digital business. So speaking of, I mean, affected, it's like nowhere, no there. It's just that retails are really affected.
True.
But our online is picking up like crazy. People stay at home, they just buy and buy, they just shop. So
that's why, in fact, you know, for those businesses who don't have an online presence, during COVID is the one that actually wiped them off, because people have no other way on reaching out to them, you know. So I would say like all this e-commerce, like the garments, the makeup, the cosmetics, the accessories, I think they did quite okay during the COVID, because people had access to them, and obviously not being able to go out and have their normal activities. So they're always online. I'm buying this, I'm buying that.
True. So
I also wanted to ask you, I mean, personally, because, you know, it was such a tough time for everyone during this whole pandemic, and, you know, as a startup, as a young entrepreneur like yourself, did you have any internal fears of whether or not your company was going to survive?
Oh, if you ask me, for the first, I mean, since the first MCO, I mean, the first 2 weeks, I was really anxious. I really can't sleep.
Oh, really?
I think for the past 6 months, I just slept for 3 or 2 hours because I've been keep on re-strategize the business. Because the whole thing here is to keep the business afloat and survive. So regardless of anything, I mean, I have a staff. I mean, I have that kind of responsibility. So whether it's not, whether there's a sales or no sales, as if this project is, I mean, if the project cancels or not, I have to keep going. So it's a little bit anxious, but I have to balance up and look at the bright side.
True. They say in every threat there's an opportunity.
It is. There's a lot of opportunity. Actually, when things happen, first thing first, being entrepreneur. This is, I mean, being entrepreneur. So this is all about your mental game. I believe this is just part of the game. So all I need is just to buckle up.
They say this, usually the strongest survive. So how strong are you? I mean, it could be from various factors such as cash flow and team support, but I think end of the day it's all about your mental focus and your capacity to like really stay on the target.
I mean, cash flow, everything, that one is like, that is the whole part of the business. I mean, you need to have a proper cash flow, but somehow, if you don't have a very strong mental, you don't know how to position yourself in that such situation, also it's going to be a problem. I mean, I believe every entrepreneur, they're facing a lot of things. Sometimes they just feel overwhelmed. I also feel overwhelmed. But I believe that being an entrepreneur, being a boss, all you need is to find solution. You have a problem, you find a solution. If it's not COVID, if it's not pandemic, there will be another problem. So if you can survive this time, I'm sure in the future it's just like, okay, I got it.
Everything is just a piece of cake, you know.
It's just a piece of cake.
Yeah, it's like, out you go,
yes,
out you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, time shall pass.
Yeah.
So I mean, the whole thing here is of course the mental has to be. If you choose to be entrepreneur, this is a part and parcel.
Exactly.
This is just a part and parcel.
It's you got the highs, you got the lows. When you get the highs, you got to really prep and see.
Correct.
You know, so
sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It's normal.
Yeah, true.
So, but in a way to give up, I think that's the least to do.
Yeah, I think it's all about finding that quiet space.
Yep.
And you know, as easy as it sounds, but we've got to try to put the fear aside
Exactly.
and think logically on the problem and how to go around it and
Exactly.
reposition, as you just quite nicely said it
Yes.
earlier. So I mean, obviously with with the cases that has been rising recently in certain areas and whatnot, I suppose a lot of the marketing campaigns will have to come to a halt. So how is that going to pan out for you for the year 2021? Have you got anything in the pipeline, or is it still based on, let's see what happens in the news? If the numbers are rising, then we might have to put a stop to certain campaigns and whatnot, because obviously you've done a lot of events in the past as well.
Yep. So basically, since the pandemic, we have a lot of. Since pandemic, we have we keep on strategize. We have a lot. Last time we only have our brand plan is only have options A, options B. But looking at it now, we have option A to Z, because you don't know what will happen next. So that is why we have. In terms of campaign, we keep on re-strategize. Based on the situations. So if you ask me, there were a lot of ad hoc plans that is going on, because we just can't focus into one plan, because everything is changing. The changing behavior right now, the market changing behavior is keep coming in.
Just instantaneously.
Instant.
Today is something, tomorrow is another thing. So you got to always be on your feet.
So it has to be. I'm so happy to have a team that very creative, and they are very passionate and energetic.
That's good.
That's the most important.
That's the most important thing, honestly.
I can't survive without them. So. And I also have everything on my plate, and they always, not just me, because we always keep coming and do brainstorm.
Yes.
And find a way out. It's always to find your way out.
It's having a very supportive team is important.
It is
for your success, because everyone's motivated towards that same goal.
Correct.
And therefore you can achieve what you're looking for.
True.
Yeah. So as an entrepreneur like yourself, a lot of people would like to know, how do you actually find the time to balance between business development and also your personal time?
This is tough question.
Oh really? Why?
Really tough
we finished all the tough ones. Now it's the free and easy ones.
If you know, I'm a mother.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I have one kid, 4 years old. So talking about juggling between mom's life, entrepreneurships and whatnot, it was crazy. It's like a roller coaster.
Because now you are a mom, you're an entrepreneur, and you're Bella. You've got your own personal life as well.
Exactly.
So how do you do that?
Oh, if you ask me, I sleep every day for only 3 hours. That's enough for me, because I have to juggle everything. But to be balanced, I always find quality times. I believe in quality times.
True.
And I believe in prioritize my work. You cannot do anything at one time.
Yeah.
So you need to segregate. You should know your priority. But for me, although I'm an entrepreneur, my family and my son is always a priority. So I always have a check and balance. So always to have a proper schedule and time management. That's why I'm very punctual when it comes to time.
Yes.
Never. If 5 minutes, my 5 minutes are very precious.
Yeah.
Because I'm a mother. I'm an entrepreneur and whatnot. So you've been juggling a lot of time. So 5 minutes is just precious to me.
Yeah.
So that is the most important thing. And of course, I'm a person who doesn't waste the time for something's not really worth. I always calculate whatever that I do. It has to jive and worth with my time.
That's true. I mean, because sometimes it's very important to also pick your battles, the kind of activities that you want to do,
true.
work it around your family and
Correct.
your business.
And learn to say no.
Learn to say no. And how is it easy to say no for a person like yourself?
I mean, last time I'm having such a problem, but when I start to say everything yes, it gives me such a headache.
More problems, right?
Yeah, more problems.
Because you're like inside, you're like, no, I can't do it, but you're doing it.
So learn to say no and always have a good time. You need to find your good time. I mean, although I'm a mother and whatnot, I always find a good time with my friends.
That's good.
You need to have that.
So how often would you say, do you have time for yourself and your friends on a weekly basis, or do you usually plan them like maybe once in 2 weeks or whenever you have the free time, but not necessarily on a schedule?
Not necessarily on the schedule, but I find time. I always find time, probably after work, because I mean, I'm a human. I cannot be work all the time.
You're not a robot. You're not a robot.
Yes.
You know?
Sometimes you have to work smart. I mean, in life, you have to be smart.
Yeah. True.
You got to be smart. I mean, in such managing everything. You can't be, as I say, you cannot do everything at one time. So you got to be smart, and you should know your worth. I mean, you should know which one is worth more, and your stuff is very important.
That is the true words of a lady boss. Know your worth and what is worth your time. You know, all our viewers take it from her. Seriously, I feel like I'm hearing from a woman is really strong.
I mean,
know your worth, ladies.
Know your worth.
Yeah.
Then everything will be start to balance.
True.
So everything comes with the cost.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah, if you choose to do this today,
yes,
you've got to make sure you're not losing out on other things as well.
It must be come with the good ROI.
Yeah.
I mean,
speaking like a true business person,
yes,
aren't you?
I mean, life or what not. It has to be some things in return.
Yeah,
I mean, not being selfish, but
true. I even was saying, sometimes like we've got our group of friends and whatnot, but the thing is, it's like you know who you are,
Exactly.
you know the value that you carry for the people in your community. So
Correct.
when you're meeting your friends, you're already adding value for them.
Correct.
Because
Correct.
maybe you'll be sharing your stories, your experiences, and what had been happening in your day. So I think likewise, as a person like yourself, you also want people to add value in your lives, correct? So it's two ways. It's never healthy if it's just one way.
No,
so
never.
It's never healthy. So
True.
you're adding value to me, and in return, I've got something to add to you as well.
Correct,
And it does not mean that it's being selfish or whatever.
True,
Not.
true.
It's just that we would like to learn and grow and to be better human beings in
Yep.
personal life, in our business life, in
Yes.
all our endeavors,
Correct,
basically.
correct.
So obviously, I would like to ask you, with all your busy schedule as a mother, as an entrepreneur, as a daughter, as a wife, as Bella, as her own person, do you have any hobbies that you particularly get engaged in?
If you ask me, I have a lot of hobbies.
Oh wow, okay. Tell me
But
about
since
them.
I become an entrepreneur, since I become a mom, having a family and whatnot, everything is start to
slowly deteriorate. I lost my hobbies.
I lost my hobby. But I just don't want to lose myself.
Yeah.
I still have my hobbies. Okay, if you ask me, I love to travel.
Okay.
I do love to travel. But skip this year.
Yeah,
Everything is done.
We're locked here. We can't travel anywhere.
I've been done. 2020 done.
Yeah.
It's okay. But I love to travel. And then I love to read.
Oh, okay.
I read a lot.
Okay.
I mean, what else? I just love to pamper myself.
Yes.
It's all about, my hobby. It's not everything resolve me.
Yeah.
But I believe my hobby has to be added value to myself.
Yes, for sure.
So that's why I love to travel, meeting a lot of people, so I can gain some insight, knowledge throughout the people, around the world and whatnot. Reading.
What do you like to read about?
Okay, if you ask me, I'm more to, since I was small, I love to read.
Okay.
But somehow, if you ask me, as goes by, I love to go for self-help book, motivations.
That's good.
Because I'm just human. Sometimes I can be very imbalanced. Sometimes I can very you know, kanchong kind of thing, and she's overwhelmed.
Tell me about it. I'm super conscious.
So I think all the self-help book really made me today. So I do a lot of, and I so do love my favorite last time. I mean, a part of business and whatnot. This one book, Think Like a Man, Act Like a Lady. It's like a relationship tips kind of.
Yeah, it's by Steve Harvey.
Exactly.
Right? Oh my god, I've been wanting to read that book for the longest time, but never got my hands quite
seriously.
on it. Yeah. So does the content of the book actually represent the title?
Exactly. I mean, perfectly.
Perfectly. So act like a lady and think like a man. Strategize like a man.
Yeah, you have to think like a man, because you know, it's always like that is when you think like a man, because women, they can be very haywire.
Yeah, betul.
So women, men, they, I mean, you should read that book. It's super amazing. So it's actually like a dating tips. It's just not dating tips. I believe when you do a business, it's like a dating as well. Definitely. When you do a marketing also, it's like a dating.
Yeah, you've got to know when
you
to
got to know. Yes,
like when to do.
When to do, what to do, and how to. Yes. So, and I also love to read how to. I mean, cooking book. I love to cook.
Oh, you like to cook? Okay.
I love to cook.
So that's one of your hobbies as well.
One of it.
Yeah,
yes.
That's good. Cooking is.
But doesn't sound like hobby right now, because I'm a mother and
but, not really.
It's like day to day.
Not really, because people, when you ask people what do you like to do, or what are your hobbies, so they usually classify. Oh, my hobbies is hiking, cycling, swimming. It's always very sports related. True. I mean, obviously they also say that, oh, I like reading, I like painting and whatnot. But why cooking? It's not a hobby.
Because it's like a day to day.
I mean,
it's like a hobby, you know.
It is a hobby, because think about it. Obviously, we need to eat to survive.
Correct.
So, whenever someone cooks, you think like it's part of a daily chore, but not necessarily, because these days you could actually just go out and buy yourself a meal.
Grab food.
But whatever you feel passionate about, where you put time and effort, and you know, obviously learn about it. I think that itself is a hobby. You know,
correct.
Like even learning how to paint nails.
Is
like
also
nail
a
art
hobby.
is a hobby.
Yes.
So I kind of feel like, you know, just as long as you like anything and you put time and effort, that's a hobby already.
Yes.
So cooking, what is your favorite cuisine that you like to cook?
Oh, I mean, if you ask me Asian, I'm more towards Asians.
Okay.
More on the Malay.
I have to tell
Chinese food.
I love, from Terengganu especially, I love the nasi lemak ikan tongkol.
Oh, that one, yes. Tell me about it.
So, because one of my best friends is from Terengganu. So whenever she goes there, she's like, okay, sayang, do you want your nasi lemak ikan tongkol? I was like, please bring them back for me. So she brings it back and then puts it in the freezer.
Right.
Then when I come over, she'll heat it up and make it for me. So that's one of my favorite dishes from part of your hometown. I will
thank you
as well. So Bella, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
We are so happy to have you here, to take your time and effort into sharing this interview with us. And to wrap up the session, this is Bella and I'm Robina, and we would like to thank you for watching us on Affluent LUXE TV.
Right. Thank you, Robina.
Thank you, Bella.
That's a great